Hello, my name is George and I'm here to get my commercial driver's license. I'm going to start off with my seatbelt. Make sure my seatbelt has not been broken or cracked, not ripped or torn. Make sure it locks, it unlocks, it locks. I'm going to leave it on for the rest of the test. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a safe start. To do a safe start, I make sure my brakes are set, transmission in neutral. I'm going to open up my key. Watch for my ABS light to turn on and off. Now it's off. So now I'm going to lower my PSI to 90 or less. I'm using my service brake, pumping my service brake until I get to 90 or less. So right there I'm at 90 exactly. So I'm going to press in my clutch, turn on my key. Release my clutch slowly. Now I'm going to build air pressure for my governor to cut off. I'm going to use my accelerator between 1,000 and 1,200 RPM to help cut my governor, and it should happen between 120 and 140 PSI. Cut off at 130 PSI. This is good because it's between 120 and 140. So now I'm going to do a 460 apply leakage test. This is where I shouldn't lose more than 4 PSI in 1 minute in combination vehicles. And to do this, I'm pressing my clutch, select the low gear, turn off my truck, open key, wait for my ABS light to turn on and off. Okay, it's off, so release my clutch. And I'm going to release my my spring brakes one at a time. Release one at a time. And then now I'm going to press my my service brake, and my needle is going to stop, and I'm going to let you know where it's at, and my minute's going to start there. So I am at 100 PSI. So I shouldn't lose more than 4 PSI in 1 minute. So my minute starts. My minute is over. I am still at 100 PSI. This is a good test because I lost 0 PSI in 1 minute. Now I release my service brake. Now I'm going to do a low air warning alarm test. This alarm should come out no less than 55 PSI. I'm going to press my service brake till it comes out. Okay, so my lower warning came up at 60 PSI. This is a good test because it happened no less than 55 PSI. Now I'm going to do an automatic spring brake pop-out test. This should happen between 20 and 45 PSI. And I'm going to use my service brake again until it pops up. Okay, my spring brakes popped out at 25 PSI. This is a good test because it happened between 20 and 45. Now I'm going to do my second safe start and get ready for my in-cab inspection. So to do this, I'm gonna make sure my brakes are set. My brakes are set. Transmission's in neutral. My ABS light is off, so I'm gonna turn my engine on. Release my clutch. I'm going to raise my air pressure again to my governor cutoff, and I am going to help it by 1,000 to 1,200 RPM, and also so my alarm could shut off. Okay, I'm going to cut off at 130 psi again, and I'm going to start my in-cab inspection. So my mirrors are properly mounted, not been broken or cracked, not scratched, no illegal tapes, and adjusted to myself. Next we have our windshield. Our windshield is properly mounted, not been broken or cracked, not scratched, clean, and it has a rubber seal all around it. Next is my windshield wipers. My windshield wipers are working properly, not ripped or torn, not missing blade, working properly. Then my windshield wiper fluid is at a proper level, working properly. Then we go to our gauges. Our depth tank, diesel exhaust fluid is at a proper level. I have enough for my trip. My oil pressure gauge is working properly between 20 and 60 psi. My water temperature gauge is working properly, no more than 180 degrees Fahrenheit. My voltmeter is working properly. It should be reading between 12 and 14 volts. It's reading 14 volts, so it's good. And my primary and secondary air pressure gauges are working to the max. My top is the primary, it's working to the max. Now, we have our electrical horn, city horn, working properly. We have our air horn, working properly. The left turn signal, it's working properly. The right turn signal, working properly. My four-way flashers, they are working properly. My low beams, my lights are on, they're working properly. My high beams, they are working properly. Then we go to our heater and defroster. Our heater. Our heater is working properly. And the defroster, it's working properly. My emergency equipment, I have a fire extinguisher, fully charged with a pin, up to date, ready to go, and up to date. I have 3 reflective triangles. They're not been broken or cracked. I have 3 liquid burning flares, and I have 6 fuses, and my fuses are not broken, not cracked. Now, I am done with my in-cab inspection. I'm going to do my brake demonstration. To do this, I'm going to go back a little bit. Okay, my brake demonstration, I am going to test each individual brake to see that they're working properly. So, I'm first going to test my parking brake by releasing my emergency brake. So to do this, I press my clutch, selecting low gear. So I'm going to test my parking brake, so I'm going to release my emergency brake. I'm going to release my clutch slowly. When I feel a small tug or pull, I put my clutch back in, indicating it's a good test. I'm just waiting for all the air to escape. Okay, so I'm going to release my clutch slowly till I feel a small tug or pull. Okay. This is a good test because my tractor and trailer did not move. Now I'm going to test my emergency brake by releasing my spring, my parking brake. Again, I'm going to release my clutch slowly until I feel a small tug or pull. Okay, this is a good test because my tractor and trailer did not move. Now I'm going to test my service brake. To do this, I'm going to press my service brake, release my spring brakes, and I'm going to go 5 feet forward without me touching the steering wheel. And when I stop, my steering wheel should go to the left or to the right. Okay. This is a good test because my steering wheel didn't go left or right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my spring brakes are set, the transmission in neutral, release my brake, release my clutch, and this is my air brakes and in-cab inspection. It's on. ¿Verdad? Más que si se fija,